uncles, brothers, and friends who, whether they know it or not, have helped to fill the role of father in someone's life. We are shaped by their presence and their absence, by how they choose to act, when they abstain, what they say, and when they remain silent. Let us remember today and always the impact that these people have on us as individuals and as a community. And let us also remember that this relationship is not one-sided, and that we are, as a community, are called to support and empower the fathers of the world, no matter how they come into their roles and regardless of their relative successes or failures. Let us raise up their triumphs. Let us have the grace to forgive them and their all too human failures. Let us love our fathers and each other. Come, let us worship together. Our prelude today is a duet by Lana Soup and on the violin with Lorna Wood accompanying her on the violin.
I'm on the viola.
I'm sorry, violin. They will be performing Salute to Auburn by Edward Elgar. our chalice this morning with these words from Peter Friedrichs. For sleepless nights awaiting the curfew breakers, for anxious hours as a driving instructor, for hours spent on sidelines cheering and watching school plays, sometimes resting our eyes, for teaching moments and mentoring moments, for making up answers when you just don't know, but are expected to because you know everything, for scrapes and booze, kisses and band-aids, hugs, kisses, and silliness and play, for bedtime stories and early morning ice time, for handing over the car keys and waves goodbye, cradling grandchildren for the first time, and for all the moments and all the meaning in the role of a lifetime, we light our chalice for you. As is our tradition, we also light a candle in solidarity with those families separated at our southern border. Now we have a music recording made by Victoria Jenkins, accompanied by Andrew Belshow, entitled Not All Heroes Wear Capes.
Hi everyone, I couldn't be with you today, but I really wanted to do a Father's Day song, so this goes out to the best dad I could have asked for. He doesn't fight crime or wear a cape. He doesn't read minds or levitate. Every time my world needs saving, he's my Superman. Some folks don't believe in heroes 'cause they haven't met my dad. He loves to workshop and rock and roll. He's got a hot rod and heart full of gold. You can say he's a man of few words, but he talks a lot within. Even though I'm a little taller, I still look up to him. Build me a house in the arms of a tree. Taught me to drive and fight and to dream. When he looks in my eyes, I hope he can see that my dad's a hero to me. Rust-ridden fenders and doors full of dings. Somehow he can fix just about anything. Didn't think he knew how to cry till our dog died that year. He doesn't always say I love you, but I can hear it loud and clear. Build me a house in the arms of a tree. Taught me to drive and to fight and to dream. When he looks in my eyes, I hope he can see that my dad's a hero to me. Build me a house in the arms of a tree. Taught me to drive and fight and to dream. When he looks in my eyes, I hope he can see that my dad's a hero to me. My
we're going to have the moment for all ages, and so if there are any people, whatever age you are, or young children that would like to come down and do the story with us, that would be great. Yay, it works. Hello, everybody. The story we're doing today is called Opal Lee and What It Means to Be Free, and it is by Alice Faye Duncan. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I am. Okay, good. Off the glasses. All right. So, happy Juneteenth Jamboree. Come and join the fun. Opal Lee waved to her great-grandson as he barreled around the park. He zipped past lines of picnic tables covered with platters of barbecue, baked beans, tomato tarts, and raspberry cobbler. He hurried past a leaping choir draped in purple robes. He danced a jig with cowboys playing fiddles, but they did not stop his flow. Buddy ran to the blooming tree where Opal Lee held court. Her braided hair was a silver crown. Her eyes were twinkling stars. Great granddeer, Buddy called. Tell us a Juneteenth story. Opal Lee raised her face to the sun as memories of yesteryear filled her vision. When she had been a Texas bud like the children at her feet, Granddaddy Zach told freedom stories on his wooden porch. As Opal Lee remembered his words, she lifted her hands and cheered, Juneteenth means freedom, and now it's story time. Then Opal Lee began. Once upon a blazing sun, black bodies were bought and sold like cattle. Black men plowed the fields, but were not allowed to own the land. Black women cooked the food, but were not allowed to feast on roasts and ribs from the master's table. Black children cleaned the one-room schoolhouses, but were not allowed to read and write. Earning and learning were against the law. Slavery was a thief. That's a future rock star right there. Already got the microphone. Not good. American slavery dragged on like a plague until January 1, 1863. That's when President Lincoln wielded courage and raised his feathered pen. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation with a mighty stroke. Had you all heard the Emancipation Proclamation before? Good. Glory, glory, glory. Freedom was dazzling news like a bright, starry night. However, Texas was big, still big. And many miles away from Mr. Lincoln, white masters defied his words. Black bodies remained in bondage. They plowed, they cooked, they cleaned. Freedom did not ring through Texas in 1863. It wasn't just in Texas, by the way. It was toiling times in the Lone Star State for 2 years, 5 months, and 18 more weary days. Then finally, joy jumped up on dancing feet in the Gulf town of Galveston. The year was 1865. The day was June 19th. Gordon Granger marched through Galveston with the Union Army troops. The general raised his booming voice and spoke these righteous words. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Opal Lee danced in a circle. Freedom, hope, and joy divine. Juneteenth means it's freedom time. Can you imagine the excitement? Singing filled the air. Happy tears rolled down like rain. Black families leaped through cotton fields and played tambourines. It was a day of jubilee, perfect for Texas barbecue, watermelon, sweet potato pie, delicious delights that they had been denied during servitude. Opal Lee told the children, remember my words for safekeeping. Remember what I say. Juneteenth is bigger than Texas singing or dancing bands. Juneteenth is freedom rising, and freedom is for everyone. Juneteenth is you and me. And the children clapped and cheered. Buddy tugged her sleeve. Great-granddaughter, he called, what was Juneteenth like when you were a kid? So she told another story. Blacks and whites lived separately when I was a child. Jim Crow signs littered Old Fort Worth in every public place. Black families were banned from Forest Park Zoo except for one day of the year. On Juneteenth, we could picnic, party, and ride the Ferris wheel. I hated that zoo. I loved it too. The birdhouse was my favorite. Buddy groaned and shook his head. The old days don't sound so good. Well, good and bad work together, like the sun and rain. I spent good days on my granddaddy's porch reading poetry books. His farm was my playground. I ran across the fields and climbed the tallest oak. Glory, glory, glory. Some memories are chocolate sweet, but some memories cut and bruise. My saddest day started on Juneteenth Day, 1939. An angry mob with flaming sticks burned my family's brand new house down. Their broken minds and evil hearts were so afraid of Black progress. The police made no arrest. My family moved away. And yet the embers burn. That fire still lives in me. I learned a big lesson that Juneteenth Day. Freedom is a golden coin. Struggle makes it shine. And no matter how long it takes for freedom to stretch across the land, I will keep on teaching, reaching, I will keep on walking, I will keep on talking. I will raise my voice on the prairie and a mountaintop until freedom rings. The children lifted their hands in praise. Freedom, hope, and joy divine. Juneteenth means it's freedom time. Opal Lee winked and chuckled. I think now it's time for barbecue, strawberry cake, and red Juneteenth punch. Glory, glory, glory. Buddy cheered and waved his hands. When he bounced up to leave, Opal Lee hugged him tightly. Then, just like birds in a flight, all the children flocked into her arms. Opal Lee studied their shining faces. Black, brown, bronze, gold, tan, white, freckles. As the children dashed away, she marveled at the bright future. She rested against a blooming tree and whispered into the wind, remember my words for safekeeping. Remember what I say. Freedom is for everyone. Juneteenth is you and me.
Be open to new learning. May your words bring truth into the world. May your hearts know love and your hands do justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
One of the ways we proclaim the warmth and caring for our community is by sharing our joys, concerns, and milestones. If you are joining us virtually, we invite you to type your joy, concern, or milestone in the YouTube chat box. We invite those in person to, one at a time, drop a pebble into our communal bowl during the music for meditation. I invite you, if you have a joy, concern, or milestone, to come forward one at a time, briefly share it into the microphone. Thank you to all who share their joys, concerns, and milestones this morning. These joys and concerns were submitted in advance for sharing. May all the joys, concerns, and milestones of this community, those shared aloud and those held in silence, be received into the care and concern of all present.
Please join us in the spirit of meditation in whatever way feels right with these words from Ryan Murray. I'm not good with this. I invite you into a period of quiet meditation. Close your eyes if you wish and be comfortable in your seat. Think about the father figure you carry in your heart. I invite you to remember the gifts and the wounds you received from that person or persons. If any feelings come up, just breathe deeply and honor those feelings as in connection with your own heart. As we close our meditation, I invite you to listen to some fathering words that we don't get to hear often enough.
I love you, just the way you are. I have confidence in you. You can achieve your goals. I will stand behind you. You can depend on me. I am proud of you. Stand up for yourself. Your opinion and feelings are important, and I do have faith in you.
When you are ready, you can breathe deeply 3 times and open your eyes.
The offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to these people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission. To make a donation online via PayPal, please visit auuf.org/donate. If you're writing a check, please make a check payable to the AUUF with a note on the memo line about whether it is for the offering or your pledge, and drop it in the offering bowl or mail it to P.O. Box 669, Auburn 36831. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Give it a try. Of course it works. In a whirlwind of stuff, I didn't realize I'd volunteered for so much music, or it happens like that, right? And we got the guest violinist, and that was really, really pretty. That was awesome. So, I don't know if y'all remember that movie, Raisin in the Sun, Sidney Poitier, and his character gets adopted by those immigrant nuns. Where are they from? Germany. And he starts to sing Frankie and Johnny, and then he stops, and then they work on a hymn. Maybe we should do Frankie and Johnny. Or we'll just go right to the spoiler part. In the middle, there's jealousy, alcohol, and firearms. Guess where that's going to go? Yeah. So we'll just do the beginning and the ending, okay? Frankie and Johnny were sweethearts. Lordy, how they could love. They promised they would be true to each other, as true as the stars up above. He was her man, but he done her wrong. Okay, that was gruesome. I saw it in my mind's eye. Here's the last part. This story should have a moral, but this story's got no end. This story's been going on as long as there's women and men. He was her man. He done her wrong. He was her man. He done her so wrong. He was her man, but he done her wrong.
Thank you, Andrew. Oh, broke the microphone. Oh, maybe not. So I do think we are very blessed today in music. We had Morgan Wood and Lena Soak and Andrew and Victoria. So let's give another hand. Originally, when I was thinking about doing this for Sunday services, it was advertised as a lighthearted look at Father's Day with dad jokes. We will have dad jokes, by the way. Sorry, maybe sorry in advance. I mean, who doesn't love a dad joke? However, today is also Juneteenth. Oh, thank you. So we will have lightheartedness, but I want to read an opinion column that came out last year, and it's serious. This opinion piece was written by Antoine C. Wright for The Hill. He's a strategist for the Democratic Party from South Carolina. On June 19, 1865, nearly 3 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and 2 months after General Robert E. Lee's surrender at Appomattox, Major General Gordon Granger issued General Order No. 3, notifying the people of Texas that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. For countless black men and women, these were the words they've been waiting to hear. Slavery was over, and the joy they felt in that moment echoes still across time in our Juneteenth celebrations today, especially with the new designation for the second year to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. This year, our Juneteenth celebration falls right on Father's Day. It feels right that has happened because today, 156 years ago, after Granger's proclamation of absolute equality between former masters and former slaves, America's black men, our sons, brothers, and fathers are facing a crisis. Unemployment is nearly twice as high for black men than white, and black men have the highest unemployment of all race gender groups in the United States. In other words, black men are more likely to be unemployed in the United States than anyone else. Only about 28% of black men ages 25 to 29 have a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to 30% of black women, 40% of white men, and nearly half of white women. Black men have the highest COVID-19 death rates in the United States. 1 in 3 black men can expect to go to prison at least once in their lives, and statistics show that 1 in 1,000 black men will be killed by police. While black men make up only about 6% of our population, we comprise 32% of the prison population. Compare that to white men who make up 36% of the country's population and 27% of the prison population. So how many black children might not get to see their dad this Father's Day because he's in prison? How many will grow up without a father because he was killed? Moreover, what harm does it do to a generation of children to watch their families, particularly their fathers, face the same struggles again and again, simply because of the color of their skin? Does that sound like absolute equality? Does it sound like the America you love? For example, can you imagine what it's like to see your father belittled, berated, and handcuffed just because he forgot to use the turn signal while driving. Perhaps you can't relate to a reality that says you're never going to get a fair shake because black men are expendable and that's all you'll ever be, a black man. Maybe you can't understand what it's like to watch your father work long hours only to be called lazy or hopeless or a waste of time. But we can do something about this. There's a reason that the GOP-controlled legislatures, of course this was written last year, across the country are rushing to adopt draconian voter suppression measures. There's a reason that conservative commentators cheered the increased number of black men who have cast ballots for Republican candidates, even as GOP tries to tamp down the black voter turnout. There's a reason that Republican justice reform proposals refuse to ban chokeholds, no-knock warrants, the militarization of law enforcement, and qualified immunity, hoping we won't notice there are no apples in the apple pie. There's a reason that conservatives shout culture war so often. It's so that they don't have to vote to raise wages, don't have to invest in rural schools or health care for all, and don't have to pass infrastructure investment that creates jobs for black people. They hope we won't notice, but we do. We always have. So it's time to stop playing games. It's time to end the crisis affecting black men. It's time to live up to the 156-year-old proclamation of absolute equality. We can change America, and I can think of no better Juneteenth tribute or Father's Day gift than doing so. Now, after that serious moment, I said we were going to do dad jokes. So what we thought we might like to do is do like an open mic for dad jokes. As we discussed earlier, there's all kinds of fathers, so you could be a pet dad, a single mom that does both parenting roles, a granddad, an adopted dad, a work dad, a friend dad, any kind of dad. I only ask that the dad jokes be safe for service, as they say, and on the shorter side. If you don't have a dad joke ready to go, so to speak, we've got a little bowl over here, and you can pick a dad joke. So, anyway, does anybody want to be brave and, all right, somebody's coming down, Carter's gonna do a dad joke. Woo-hoo.
I got a handful of them, but they're all very quick. Have to turn this back on?
Yeah.
Put it on, yeah. Good morning.
Hey.
Okay, one of my personal favorites is a mushroom walks into a bar and says, "Can I have a drink?" And the bartender says, "I'm sorry, we don't serve your kind here." And he says, "Come on, I'm a fun guy." My friend Kevin told me this one yesterday. How does a cat prefer to have its steak cooked? Rare. And then these are on behalf of my wife who cannot be here this morning. She has a whole set. Do you want to hear a joke about a little cat? Just kidding. You want to hear a joke about my garden? It's too corny. You want to hear a joke about a plane? No, it's over your head. Want to hear a joke about pizza? It's too cheesy. All right, that's all I got.
All right, we got somebody coming up.
So this is my can of emergency dad jokes. It says, warning, 50 dad-approved jokes. I promise I won't read all 50. I'll read a few at random here. Did you hear the one about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, but no atmosphere. How does a computer get drunk? It takes screenshots. I don't know what that is. What do you call a superhero with a bad sense of direction? Wonder Woman. I'm here all day, folks.
All right, we got a couple more coming.
Yay.
Hi, Christopher. too. Would you like to hear a construction joke? Oh, never mind, it's still not ready. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
What did one hat say to the other? Stay here, I'm going on ahead.
What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros? Elephino.
Oh, no.
We're rolling now.
I was going to tell y'all a joke about time travel, but you didn't like it.
Y'all want to hear a joke about the time I broke my pencil? Never mind, it's pointless. Once there were two muffins baking in the oven. One turns to the other and says, "Man, it's really hot in here." The other one says, "Holy cow, a talking muffin."
Of course.
What do you call a dad who can't find the microphone? I have no idea. What do giraffes have that no other animal has? Baby giraffes. What do people in Louisiana call watermelons? Watermelons.
This isn't necessarily a dad joke, but it's something my father always used to say, and he was stuck with my mother and my sister and me. And for my encore.
The mic drop.
And when one of us would say, "You're driving me crazy," he would go, "That's not a drive, it's a shortcut."
We don't have far to go.
Imagine how much water there would be if there weren't sponges in the ocean.
Okay, that was awesome. And I mean, these are my favorite kind of jokes ever.
Please join me in extinguishing our chalice with the words in your program. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth into the world in peace.
Too far.
That's the song. It's not a solo.
It'll be a solo.
It's announcements.
He can break.
Please be our guest today after the service for our coffee hour outside near the Bush Center. This is an opportunity to check in with folks about the service and how their week has gone. If you're not signed up for our email list, please make sure to do so to receive updates about the ways to connect. You can find information on signing up at our website, auf.org/subscribe. If you have an announcement, please feel free to come forward one at a time. We would like to ask you to please be brief in your announcement.
Next week will be another open mic opportunity. Come bring a poem to read, either one that you've written or one that you love. This will be my final assignment.
Actually, it looks like coffee might be here. here, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so, my bad. I thought we were gonna be outside. So you don't have to go outside. You can be right here.
Hey. Bill.
It's not on.
There we go. Testing. Hey. The summer solstice is in a couple days, and next Sunday I'm hosting at my place a celebration, pagan holiday known as Litha. So if you are pagan curious, pagan, or just want to come hang out, it's really casual. My place right up the road from 4 to 8 next Sunday. Hope to see some of y'all there.
Any other announcements? Our closing words are "Be true, be well, be loving" by Reverend Cynthia Landrum. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection. Our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Be strong, be well, be true, be loving.